Welcome to the Boorinakis Harper Ranch. My name is Julia Boorinakis Harper, and I'm a fourth-generation farmer here at the BH Ranch. Our family has farmed here in Auburn, California since 1918, when my great-grandfather, George Boorinakis, came here from the Greek village of Alatsata in Asia Minor, which is now in Turkey. He moved to San Francisco and ran a Greek restaurant there until he had saved up enough to bring over his wife-to-be. But he felt that San Francisco was no place for his future family, so in 1918, he left the city and bought a fruit ranch in the tiny town of Auburn. And we've been here ever since. My grandfather, my mother and uncle, and my cousins and I all grew up here on the farm. Today we grow pears, apples, and plums, most of which come from the original trees that my grandfather, Philip Boorinakis, planted. We also grow wine grapes, and we keep bees for honey and to pollinate our orchard. When I was small, the farm was semi-dormant. In the 1960s, after a virus called the decline had damaged most of the fruit trees, my grandfather Philip could no longer make a living on fruit growing alone. But he kept and took care of the surviving trees, and we would sell fruit from the ranch, though it was mostly a labor of love. But as subdivisions crept in around us, it became more and more important to us all to honor and preserve this rare and remarkable thing, a historic fruit ranch in the middle of what is now a small city. So, in 2002, we decided to get serious about farming again. The timing was right, the interest and support from our community was there, and the orchard was just waiting for us to get to work. We also decided to go organic, a notion that just didn't exist in my grandfather's time. But we never used a lot of chemical pesticides or fertilizers to begin with. We live and work here on the farm, we eat the food we grow, and our bees and chickens roam the orchard. So it just seemed like the logical next step. At first, people told us it was impossible to grow pears and apples organically, and it is difficult, but we did our research and learned a lot. It really comes down to being observant, knowing your pests and your orchard, and experimenting until you get it right. So now, instead of using conventional pesticides, we use what's called integrated pest management. We monitor and trap pests, and we encourage beneficial insects with hedgerows and cover crops, such as clover and mustard, which enrich the soil and reduce runoff. We provide habitat for natural predators like bluebirds, bats, and owls, and we use carefully timed organic treatments only when necessary. This takes far more time and effort, but we think it's worth it to grow organic fruit this beautiful and delicious. In August and September, we take our fruit and honey to local farmers markets. Market days are long and a lot of work, but it's such a gratifying part of what we do, bringing our produce directly to our customers, talking with them about our farming practices, answering questions, sharing stories and recipes. We especially love growing heirloom apple and pear varieties that you just can't find anywhere else. Things that would be lost if independent farmers and devoted fruit obsessives like us didn't keep growing them. Our community here in the foothills is so appreciative of fresh, local, real food and of that direct connection with the people who grow it. We couldn't do what we do without the support of our friends and neighbors, our fellow farmers, and our fantastic customers, many of whom become friends. Good food just has a way of bringing people together, whether around the table, at a farmer's market, or even out in the orchard. Our goal is to keep our ranch as a successful and self-sustaining small family business, and to provide our community with a local source for the freshest, most wholesome, organic, and incredibly delicious fruit around. Farming is hard work, but the personal connections and gratitude from our customers make it so worthwhile. Thank you for your support of our little family farm that could.